Ми готові поширювати цей досвід, готові допомогти тим народам, які допомогли нам, Україні, цією зимою та загалом за час цієї війни.
While radar screens across the Persian Gulf flash red, missiles and drones streak through the sky, not toward Europe or Kyiv, but toward Bahrain, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, the UAE. But in an unprecedented turn, Ukraine has stepped forward not just to fight its own war, but to help the Gulf defend its skies from Iranian ballistic missiles and drones. For years, the world watched the brutal war in Ukraine, a battlefieldescape of tanks, artillery, missiles, and waves of drones. But now, today, that battlefield has expanded into the heart of the Middle East. This is not just another news update. This is the opening chapter of a global conflict no strategist saw unfolding so abruptly, a war that could reshape alliances, redraw strategic maps, and redefine what it means to wage modern warfare. And at the center of it all, the man whose country has endured more aerial bombardment than almost any nation in living memory, President Volodymyr Zelensky. In February 2026, a series of coordinated strikes by the United States and Israel hit Iranian military command centers and strategic facilities. In response, Iran unleashed a massive counterattack, launching ballistic missiles and waves of Iranian-made Shahed drones across the Persian Gulf region, targeting U.S. and allied bases, civilian infrastructure, and critical energy hubs. These attacks involving hundreds of drones and missiles overwhelmed even modern Western air defenses. Gulf nations, despite possessing advanced Patriot and SAMP/T systems, found that ballistic threats and mass drones could still penetrate their skies. It all started with a move that surprised many. Britain's Prime Minister Keir Starmer announced that Ukrainian experts would be sent to help Gulf countries defend against Iranian drones and missiles. We're not talking combat troops or offensive strikes, just our expertise in defense, helping protect the skies above people. On top of that, the UK gave the US access to its bases to carry out.
The United States has requested permission to use British bases for that specific and limited defensive purpose.
Defensive counter-missile operations. And that realization, the terrifying truth that no defense system is absolute, has changed everything. President Zelensky himself acknowledged this global truth. From the situation in the Middle East, one can see how difficult it is to provide 100% protection against missiles and Shaheds, even in the Gulf countries, which have more advanced air defense systems than those provided to us so far by our partners, and a greater number of such systems. Even there, not all ballistic missiles are intercepted. There are also Shaheds that regional air defense systems failed to stop. Everyone sees that our experience in defense is in many ways indispensable. We are ready to share this experience, ready to help those nations that helped Ukraine this winter and throughout this war. For more than 4 years, Ukraine has been at the forefront of modern warfare technology, not just as an aggressor, but also as a defender. And while the world watches Iran's drones fill the skies, let's not forget Ukraine has completely changed the game in modern warfare. They're not just defending, they're hitting back, targeting Russia's own lifelines. From energy grids to oil hubs, Ukraine's precision strikes have gone deep into Russian territory. This week, Ukrainian forces struck Russia's key oil terminal in Novorossiysk and hit the Druzhba pipeline, cutting massive oil supplies. Smaller raids targeted radar stations, S-300 launchers, and logistics hubs. At the same time, Ukrainian defenders held strong against waves of missiles and drones, showing how our soldiers and war machines have evolved from battered defenders into battle-hardened innovators. Zelensky mentions that we're also keeping a close eye on what's happening with Iran, and we're working closely with our partners. Right now, the Iranian people have been fighting against violence and oppression almost on their own. The Iranian regime has killed tens of thousands of its own citizens in recent months, fueled conflicts in the region, and even supplied Russia with Shahed drones and the technology to make them. Ukraine has faced relentless waves of Iranian-made Shahed and Garan drones, the very same UAVs now raining down in the Persian Gulf. developing multi-layered air defense tactics that integrate interceptor drones, electronic warfare, radar networks, and anti-air missile systems into a cohesive shield that regularly defeats swarming attacks. Recently, President Zelensky made it clear on X that Ukraine has never threatened Iran. But the Iranian regime made a choice. It sided with Putin, supplying him with Shahed drones and even the technology to make more. Iran also provided other weapons to Russia. Over the course of this war, Russia has used over 57,000 of these drones to attack Ukrainian cities, people, and our energy infrastructure. And it's not just Ukraine, other countries have also been hit by Iranian-backed attacks. Ukrainian forces came up with smart, layered defense tactics. Mobile anti-air units can move quickly from place to place. Electronic warfare systems mess with drone navigation, making it harder for them to hit their targets. Interceptor missiles take down threats at different heights, so nothing slips through. On top of that, homegrown innovations like improvised rocket defenses, local radar networks, and AI-powered tracking have all played a huge role in keeping Ukraine safe. Just like in Kyiv's defense one night alone, Ukraine intercepted 84 of 94 drones in a massive barrage, a testament to its air defense evolution. Ukraine has faced something most countries haven't: both big strategic missiles and swarms of drones at the same time. That forced them to get creative. They split the airspace into layers, used long-range interceptors like Patriots and NASAMS, and combined Western radar with their own systems. They also used drones like the Lelika 100, UJ-22, Airborne, and Bayraktar TB2 to fight back, which were learned early on. Sometimes it's easier to kill the signal than the drone itself. That means messing with GPS, guidance, and command links, hijacking drones, and using anti-radar decoys. All this hard-earned experience learned just to survive is now the kind of know-how the Middle East really needs. This marks a dramatic expansion, which makes war that was once primarily European is now spilling into the Middle East. The political implications are massive, but there's more. Russia long positioned itself as a defender of Tehran, but the truth is far more nuanced and today rapidly unraveling. Moscow has been deeply entangled in its own war in Ukraine, for years suffering casualties, economic sanctions, and strained resources. As it watches the Middle East conflict unfold, Russia finds itself on the sidelines, yet again, unable or unwilling to project real military power beyond rhetoric. While Russia publicly condemns U.S. actions and boasts diplomatic ties with Iran, its material support is limited.
Иран же вышел из этого соглашения. США вышли. Бывший президент Трамп принял решение выйти из соглашения. А европейцы говорят, да, это не очень хорошо, что американцы вышли. Но вы, иранцы, все соблюдаете. С какого хрена-то иранцы, извините, так по-русски звучит грубовато немножко.
There's no clear mutual defense clause binding Russia to fight for Iran. Iran's extensive use of drones and missiles weapons it once supplied to Russia has now boomeranged into a full-blown regional crisis. Despite this, its own defenses are imperfect. The global realization that even the most advanced systems can fail, coupled with the willingness of nations to enlist Ukraine's help, exposes vulnerabilities Tehran cannot ignore. For the first time in modern history, a nation at war for its own survival, Ukraine might be recognized as a global air defense partner. This changes the calculus of alliances as NATO and Western partners now see Kyiv as a provider of military expertise, not just a beneficiary. This cooperation signals a new era where military experience, gained on one front, is shared globally in real time. Now, Ukraine has an unexpected partner in the Middle East and the West, not just on the battlefield, but in shaping global air defense strategies. This partnership strengthens the West's commitment to collective defense. At the same time, Russia is losing ground, as many countries look to Ukraine and the West for guidance and protection. One thing is clear: Ukraine isn't just surviving this war, they are setting the standard for modern defense as well as alliances.